Oh gosh. Alright, Black Ops 4. Gosh, there's a lot of stuff to talk about, but the whole idea of this video is just impressions, thoughts, fears, concerns, and hopes for Black Ops 4 from my point of view. It's what you guys are here for, and yeah, let's just start about this. So, Black Ops 4 was obviously showed off on the main stage to the world yesterday with their community live stream, and it was handled pretty well. They had so much information to go through, and I think they handled it pretty damn well. It wasn't an entirely like cohesive experience all the way through. There were times where I was left scratching my head a little bit as to what they were actually meaning and stuff like that, but for the amount of information they had to cover and still have to cover and explain, I think they did pretty damn well. They certainly lived up to the tagline, everything has changed, or whatever it was, because this is the first year where we're obviously not getting any campaign. This is the first year that we're launching with a Battle Royale mode. This is the first year that we are launching with 3 zombie maps experiences off the start. So they have a lot of content off the bat to make up for the fact that there's no campaign. I know a lot of people are really upset about the fact there being no campaign, and I get it. Because campaign is always really fun. It's like the one thing you can depend on most of the time. Black Ops 3. For a good solid experience and just, you know, a good blast for a couple of hours outside of the multiplayer. But I just wanted to elaborate on this a little bit. They have been hinting at and trying to establish a universe, a cohesive Call of Duty universe, and they have chosen to do it in the Black Ops universe. Personally, I don't think it's the best launching point, and they certainly have a lot of source material to pull from, but think about it, Black Ops 3's universe, it sucked. Like seriously, the story for that game, the setting for that game, it was pretty bad. Like I'm not overly harsh on a lot of stories. I can suspend disbelief and, you know, enjoy most stories to most video games and movies and books and stuff like that. But when I have to watch an hour-long analysis video on your campaign story and still don't fully understand what the fuck is going on, you've done something wrong with your story. Alright, Call of Duty is not meant to be this Inception level, brain-tearing, like IQ melting experience. It's supposed to be, go in there, you know, have some feels, feel like a badass, shoot bad guys, feel damn good while you're doing it kind of experience. And Black Ops 3 kind of just, it didn't do that for me, and it didn't do it for a lot of people. If you like Black Ops 3's story and you understood it, you're obviously smarter than me, and I commend you for that, and that's great. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Everyone I've talked to hates that story, hates that campaign, and I should know, I played the campaign 3 fucking times to get all the achievements and to get most of the collectibles. So yeah, you can make up your mind about that one. But they're launching their universe from that perspective. Granted, they're probably not going to bring back the characters from their campaign, but it's still set in that universe. It's set after Black Ops 2 and before Black Ops 3, but it's called Black Ops 4. It's already confusing as hell. I don't quite get it either. It's like they're trying to kind of gloss over Black Ops 3 and say, that was in the future, none of that shit's happened yet, yada yada yada, we're set in here. But they still have specialists, and they're using that to try and kind of build the universe around. Like I guess the specialists are kind of their version of the Avengers, but they haven't got any backstory or a lot of lore behind them. Like there is, but you really have to deep dive, so yeah, it's kind of a shaky start to launch a universe on. I would have thought you would have started it on characters and a universe that people actively love, but they're going down the DC route of kind of just chucking it out and seeing what sticks. So yeah, we'll see about that. But on that note, specialists are returning, and I'm not happy about that. I'm not gonna lie here. I'm gonna be pretty blunt in this video. I'm not happy that specialists are coming back for a couple of reasons. Actually, no, just one reason. Call of Duty to me has always been about smooth gameplay and flow and momentum. That's something that Call of Duty like has over any other multiplayer gaming franchise that I've played. It's the fact you can get into a game and there's momentum behind what you're doing. It's smooth, it flows, you know what's going on, what's happening, and stuff like that. And in Black Ops 3, specialists ruined that for me. Because when you have something that disrupts your flow in such a violent way, to me, it's jarring, all right? So I'll be on a 20 kill streak, feeling it, I'm in the mood, I'm gonna get this nuclear, nothing can stop me, bam, I'm dead. Specialist comes around the corner, blows me away with whatever power weapon he has. That's it, momentum's done. Okay? Up until that point, the game, like, the match was smooth, I was feeling confident, it was great, it was Call of Duty all up. Up until that point, where you just get completely blown away by something that you can't outskill or avoid, then that disrupts flow, and that's why I hated Specialists in Black Ops 3. Yes, some of them weren't that good, but you had the ones that, like, all of them were capable of basically killing you in a quarter of a second, and I hated that. I don't think that that has any place in Call of Duty, and that's why I've moved away from World War II as well. World War II doesn't have Specialists. That's fine. You'd think, well, why are you complaining about World War II then? Why did you leave it? You should love World War II, no Specialists. The game suffered from the same pacing issues. No matter how much they try to tweak the game, it wasn't fast-paced enough for Call of Duty, to the point where Call of Duty has evolved to now. Call of Duty now is at the point where it is full-on Twitch shooter, arena shooter, you know, blink and you'll miss it kind of action. And that's what fans love about Call of Duty. You go in there and it's just, it gets your blood pumping and stuff like that. World War II had way too much downtime. You'd shoot someone, you'd win a gunfight, you'd probably be half health, you'd have to sit and regen for like a good couple seconds, and when you could be moving, like in Black Ops 3, in a quarter of the time after you've had a gunfight, you were moving on to the next one. And in Black Ops 3 or other Call of Duties, I felt confident after winning a gunfight. After winning a gunfight, I felt like I could take on the rest of the lobby straight away. World War II, I had to stop, slow down, and pause, and wait, and wait, and wait. And even when I was then confident to move again, I felt like I still wasn't confident, because there is so many, like, the way that the maps work in that game is that there are head glitches everywhere. There was just so much stuff that stopped momentum. So that's, I feel like I should have explained that in my video where I was talking about World War II. But anyway, moving back to Black Ops 4. Specialists are back. They don't look as obnoxious as Black Ops 3, which I'm happy about, but at the same time, they're still in the game, and I can tell you now, there is going to be circumstances where you're going to get bullshitted by Specialists. Of course there is. There's a Specialist in the game that has a Purifier. They brought Firebreak back. Like, I hate that guy with a burning passion. Like, I literally, like, never use it in the multiplayer of Black Ops 3 because I hate it. It's just a scumbag way to get kills, and it glorifies this stupid mentality of, let's just get in there and kill everyone with my ridiculously overpowered weapon, and that's how we're gonna win this game. Like, I hate that mentality. If I had the choice of Specialists or no Specialists, I'm always going to choose no Specialists, because when it comes down to it, it's me and my gun skill versus my enemy and his gun skill. It's not me and my gun skill versus him and pressing the mouse button in my general direction. And yeah. Some people have mentioned the fact that there's no exosuits or futuristic movement in this game, so it's harder for them to flank you, it's harder for them to get up in your face and obnoxiously kill you and over and over and over. That is true. There is a lot more predictability to the game now. They can't just boost over you and completely destroy you. They can't just, do some crazy maneuver like that. But on the flip side of that, you also can't get away from that. In Black Ops 3, you could sometimes evade Specialists and crazy abilities in situations with your exo movement. That's not going to happen at all in Black Ops 4. You're going to be stuck with what you have, which is some sliding, and that's about all the movement you have. Maybe your grappling hook if you've got the right Specialist, but that's it. So if a Purifier's up in your face, you ain't got no exo movement to try and escape him. You just gotta hope to God that you can kill him. And keep in mind, everyone has 150 health now because they have upgraded the health to 150 to improve the consistency of gunfights. This is something that I am actually happy about. I do think that a longer time to kill will reward higher skill players. I do think that. It will overall add more consistency to the game and gunfights, because there is always gunfights in Call of Duty where it's just like, what? What? How did I die there? I felt like I blinked and I was dead. The more consistency you add to that, I think that is actually a good thing. But how it's going to play with the Specialists and how difficult they are to kill, we'll see. They were talking about how they would like to make it more tactical and have them play off of each other with a lot of combinations and stuff like that. This is COD. We're not playing some meta level, higher IQ Rick and Morty shit right here. We're playing Call of Duty where you run around and you shoot people. So whether or not people will actually lean themselves to those kind of strategies, we'll see. But you'll have to forgive me if I'm a little bit skeptical about that. A few other things I could touch on here, obviously the 5v5s, I was a little disappointed when I heard that, but from the gameplay I've seen, it doesn't seem to affect the pacing or anything like that. They talked about weapon handling and customization. The fact that recoil is now supposed to be much more predictive and learnable, which is something I'm really excited about. It reward players who actually spent a lot of time in the game. A lot of Call of Duties have had interesting recoil patterns that have made it sometimes a little difficult to predict where your gun is going to behave, especially World War II. The recoil in that game is just fucked, and I will never understand it. But anyway, the more predictability I suppose they're adding to this gun means that the higher skill players will be rewarded for actually learning the guns and stuff like that. So that's something I'm also looking forward to. They also talked about weapon customization and how it's supposed to be more unique and personal to each gun now. So we'll have to see how that works. I don't know a lot about this other than the fact that each gun is supposed to have different sets of attachments specific to that gun. So one gun might have an option for an underbarrel shotgun compared to another gun in the same class which might not have that. Some guns might have access to silencers, some may not. We'll have to see how that works out. I think it'd be really cool if different guns could have different unique camos to that specific gun or something like that, but we'll have to see. We don't know much about the customization other than that, really. I don't know how it's going to work. We don't know much about the ranking systems or anything like that, how you're going to level up or prestige or anything like that. That's all to come. They're still leaving a lot of information for E3 and for the beta and stuff like that, which I can respect. They've given us a small taste and I know enough to get hyped for, but at the same time they're not giving away the entire show here, so I'm quite happy about that. Because say as much as you want about that, I do think that a certain amount of mystery and a certain amount of ambiguity when it comes to video game launches is a good thing. You want to have something to be excited for. Next thing I want to talk about is the fact that they mentioned PC specifically on the main stage, and I'm happy about this. I'm very happy about this. The fact that it's not just in some side interview with someone who's interested. No, the fact that they're actually taking time out of it to partner with Blizzard and take it off Steam and put it on Blizzard's what is it? Their platform. Fuck, Battle.net. That's the one. Means that they've given this a lot of thought this year. It means we're going to have a solid anti-cheat on launch. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Oh, I still have PTSD about Infinite Warfare and World War II, and it's going to be great. Hopefully it is all in working order and stuff when the game launches, because not having an anti-cheat on launch is one of the biggest killers for the PC community, and it's something that has been obnoxiously absent from the game launches the past couple of years. So it's really good that they've talked about this straight up. It's also really good that they've actually talked about and embraced the idea of PC on the main stage. You know, like I mentioned before, it's not just in some side interview. No, they actually actively talked about the PC player base. They actually talked about the PC specifications and things that they're implementing, and it's good. It's going to be great. I'm actually hopeful for this year. The last couple Call of Duties have actually had decent optimization on PC, which I'm actually surprised about. They've kept a bit of the word there, even if the rest of the support kind of lacked quite a bit. I think that it's still promising signs, and they've been gradually earning back a bit of PC, I think, credibility, which is a good thing. I do want to say though, behind the scenes at the event, I did hear some rumors that the PCs that they were running on, and because I haven't been able to find any PC footage or anything, I don't know if they're allowed to capture or not, probably not, but from what I've heard, they were only allowed to play on 4K at a capped 60 FPS, which apparently felt horrible, and I can understand that. That would have felt garbage when you cap a game, an FPS game at 60 FPS with VSync on. It would have felt like, it feels horrible. You never want to play like that. But they did release a list of specifications and features. It's going to be 4K supported. It's going to have ultra wide monitors, resolution support, so like that's going to have uncapped frame rates, apparently, dedicated servers, all that good stuff, which is really cool. I'm really glad that they cleared that up. And not only that, I'm going to leave a link in the description below for a Reddit forum from Treyarch, a PC specific community developer has started a thread over there, and if you guys want to keep up to date with PC news, PC patches, itchy eye, go away, stuff like that, then feel free to go over there and follow. It looks like that we'll be able to keep updated and keep in contact with the studio with feedback and stuff like that. So I think that's a really cool idea. If you guys want to follow that, link is going to be in the description below. I think that's about everything in terms of PC and stuff like that. The last thing, of course, the big elephant in the room that everyone's talking about is Battle Royale. I wanted to address this a little bit at the end here. I'm excited for the Battle Royale. I am. I'm hoping that it's not going to be a gimmick mode. They seem really excited about it, and they seem really enthused about it. Like, they seem like they've put a lot of effort into this, and the fact that they've taken out campaign to focus more resources on this speaks to the amount of dedication that they're actually putting into this. We haven't seen gameplay, we haven't seen too many specific features here, but I'm excited for it. I really am. It's going to have to be handled very delicately because there is a lot of Call of Duty things that don't really lend to Battle Royale. Hit scan weapons don't really lend very well to Battle Royale at all, because if you pick up a sniper rifle then in a Battle Royale with hit scan weapons, you're going to be fucked if you're anyone else but the person wielding that sniper rifle, especially people on PC, because people on PC, some freaks out there on PC, alright? Trust me, I play against them every day. So, yeah, if those people get a sniper rifle with hit scan in a Battle Royale mode, then heaven help anyone else that's near them or far from them or anywhere else on the map from them. So that's what I'm going to say about that. Everything else seemed like it was pretty cool. They did mention land, sea, and air vehicles. That's going to be interesting. It did say that the map is going to be the biggest map they've ever worked on. Well, of course, the biggest map they've ever worked on, I didn't even know. The biggest map in Call of Duty history is probably Stonehaven, or fuck, what's the name of that map from Call of Duty Ghosts that was so big, the big abandoned, I can't remember the name of it, but those are some of the maps that come to mind when you mention big maps. Of course they're going to be bigger than those maps. The fact that they said that they're going to have elements from everyone's favorite maps, they're going to have, you know, older characters from the Black Ops universe, they're going to have different weapons from zombies and stuff like that. It's going to be interesting. I think it's going to be like a Call of Duty Online experience where they kind of just like smush everything together and, you know, it kind of has to work then. I'm hoping it works. I'm hoping that they have some idea of what they're doing here. They did mention, Deviantart did say on the main stage that he wants this to be the best Battle Royale experience out there, and it has the potential for that. It really does, because all the other Battle Royales out there are kind of lacking things. PUBG lacks optimization and smooth everything. It's popular, but that's because it kind of revolutionized the genre. Then you have Fortnite, which is a really smooth experience accessible to everyone, but it also lacks that realistic touch that a lot of people crave for in their competitive experiences. Then you have H1, which is kind of died off so much in its release, and it's kind of become old news to the fact where not many people are playing it anymore. You have the Culling, which just died and the developers gave up on that game. You have a bunch of smaller Battle Royales that have kind of failed to take off, like Radical Heights, and there was another one that I'm trying to, the Darwin Project and stuff like that. They're modest successes, but nothing to ever really compete with Fortnite or the bigger guys. So Call of Duty has the potential here to slot in as a really competent, if not amazing, Battle Royale if they know what they're doing here. Emphasis on if they know what they're doing. It has to be done right, and it has to be done right the first time, because if Call of Duty fucks it up on launch, no one's going to come back except for the people that are already playing Call of Duty, and it's just going to become one of those game modes where people are just like, do you feel like playing Battle Royale? Nah, let's just stick to multiplayer. It can become the next war of Call of Duty, and I ended up not really liking war at all, so fingers crossed for this one. It has so much potential. I want it to succeed, because if the Battle Royale succeeds, if the Battle Royale starts bringing in hundreds upon thousands of players to millions of players, that rubs off on all other aspects of Call of Duty. And it's about time that COD came back, man. Alright, COD has been suffering a bit in terms of player numbers, in terms of sales, in terms of a lot of things lately. It's time it was king again, and it's time that the Call of Duty community stopped being memed over and over and over by people that just can't be bothered to actually sit down and play the game and are all too willing to judge it. So if you give them something that's hard to dispute, like a huge financial success and a huge critical success of the Battle Royale mode, then it affects all other areas of Call of Duty, and I think that can only be a good thing. The biggest barrier, I think, with the Battle Royale, and I do have something to say about this, is the fact that it's going to be $60. You have to buy Black Ops 4 to try the Battle Royale mode. I think that's really dumb. I think that the Battle Royale mode should be free. It should be a standalone experience from Black Ops 4, but it should be free. There should be incentives to obviously buy the game and to experience the multiplayer, the zombies and stuff like that, but it should be free. That portion should be free, because if it's free, everybody wins. Activision and Treyarch have like people that are just going to come along and try the game from every walks of life. It's the reason why Fortnite is so successful. If Fortnite costed $40 to $60 for their Battle Royale mode, I think it'd have 1/4 of its player base that it currently has. The fact that it's on every platform and it's free means that Epic Games has an idea of how to market to people, and they know what they're doing. I think Treyarch and Activision, if they don't make the Battle Royale free, or at least a cheaper experience, I think it's going to suffer. The player counts are definitely going to suffer because of that, and you want all of those people at launch. The more people you have playing the game at launch, the more people are going to like it, the more people are going to be there to talk about it, the more people are going to make videos and content on it. Just, it's going to be a better experience for Black Ops 4 in general, if it's like that. I know that they're not going to do that because Activision is really short-sighted and they're more focused on getting money now than setting up anything for the future, but that's just my opinion. I do think that the Battle Royale should be free, and I will stand strong with that opinion. Let me know what you guys think about that down in the comment section below. Other than that, I think that's about everything I want to talk to you guys about in this video today. I am optimistic about Black Ops 4. I am slightly disappointed that they didn't mix up the formula a little bit more. I think they could have embraced a little bit more of a different theme than what we currently had, because I can understand where so many people are coming across and calling it Black Ops 3.5. Trust me, I get that. It looks scarily similar, and if you show an ordinary person footage from Black Ops 4 and Black Ops 3, a lot of people are not going to be able to tell them apart, which I think is a missed opportunity. But, I mean, if the game does really well, if the game sells really well, if the game performs really well, none of that's really going to matter. And they have a really good opportunity this year with their Battle Royale. They're mixing things up, they're trying new things, and I think that's only a good thing. As long as you keep trying new things, then you're never really going to go stale, and Call of Duty has been accused of being stale and same old for years, so mixing it up like this drastically, it gets people talking about it, even if it's a good way, if it's a bad way. Any kind of publicity is a good publicity. So the more people talk about your game, the better. The more people are going to try it, the more people are going to play it. So I think that Call of Duty has a lot of potential this year to really kickstart everything that it once was and get it back heading in an upward direction rather than just kind of flatlining like it has been the last couple of years. So yeah, anyway guys, that's gonna wrap it up this video. So if you have enjoyed, thank you so much for watching. If you have enjoyed, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe for more, and I shall see you beautiful people in the next video.